I didn't eat my family. I didn't eat my family. It's almost comical when read aloud, but there's nothing funny about what I went through. Being lost at sea is a nightmare that I wouldn't wish upon anybody, not even the sensationalist media trying to paint me as a cannibal. 3 months of constantly teetering between life and death. 3 months of dehumanizing myself in order to survive. If I had known the scrutiny I would face upon rescue, I'd almost rather have died adrift on that raft. It all started innocently enough, a warm sun-soaked summer evening out on the boat. That ride out to the open water with my wife and kids was easily the happiest I'd felt in years. Alone out in the calm waters with no distractions, I couldn't have dreamt of better. But I underestimated the time spent out there and hadn't even considered bringing additional fuel for the boat. I chuckle to myself when I think of all the times my wife explicitly warned me to keep an extra gas can on board. As I watched the fuel gauge hit empty, I could never have imagined the horror that was to come. I'll never forget how quickly the storm rolled in. Darkness in the blink of an eye and waves dwarfing the size of my boat, it felt like a movie come to life. I remember the boat capsizing and barely having enough time to grab the inflatable raft and a half-empty soda can. I tried surveying under the water for a glimpse of my wife and kids, but it was simply too dark. I laid down quietly on the raft, not knowing what lied ahead of me. The soda can was my only saving grace. Many days and nights I sat still, arm extended with the can catching any drip of rainwater the heavens provided. Every so often I was able to grab a fish or sea turtle that approached the raft out of curiosity. That taste of raw flesh and blood will stick with me forever. But it was never enough and I became dangerously thin and frail through the journey. Dehydration, starvation, sleep deprivation and living in a constant state of fear from sharks bumping against the raft at night. I was on death's doorstep. By some miracle I drifted into a shipping lane and was rescued by a cargo crew. I thought my nightmare was over, until I reached home and a new chapter unfolded. Skeptics saying I looked too good for someone lost at sea, my wife's family filled with resentment and prodding for more answers, the front page headlines labeling me a cannibalistic monster. I passed polygraphs, gave countless interviews, but nothing could dissuade the naysayers. I did not eat my family. Maybe one day the bodies strapped to cinder blocks will be discovered and these silly accusations will end.